Yeah, I think it's time for another walk and talk, episode 2. I don't know if it's a parking spot or the middle of the road. Maybe I parked in the middle of a crosswalk. I don't know. We'll see if anybody yells about it. So, what's going on, everybody? This is day 5 of MoveEmber, and should probably lock my doors. And we're going to go for a little walk. I'm in a park on the outside of Fort Madison, Iowa. I've never really explored this park much. It's Rodeo Park. But I was driving back in here, and they seem to have a really large frisbee golf. I don't know if you can see the one up there with this, and there's one there, and a basket over there. There's all kinds of baskets around here for frisbee golf. So I don't know how many holes it is, or baskets, or whatever you call it. So update on how, man, this is beautiful, how everything's going. So day 5, I was hoping to be doing a little bit more movement activities. I keep going in spurts. You know, yesterday I had a good walk. The day before that, I think I did stretching and stuff. Then I had a really good rowing session. That hill looks cool to go down, but I don't know how well my knee's going to handle going down. And I don't know if this is a path, a trail, or what. We're going to walk this way. But flip this around. There you go. How do I look? I look good? I hope so. So, a couple of updates I wanted to do. One was movement stuff. Wanting to keep doing that. Hope that more people there are more people joining the challenge. People joining the Facebook page, which is really, really cool. There's also, that's a pretty view there. Also, been a lot more comments and activity on the channel. So thank you. If you've taken the time to subscribe, awesome. If you've taken the time to comment, I hope I responded back to everybody, and I greatly appreciate it. That's really, really cool. Thank you. But one thing I haven't talked about much lately is fasting. Somebody asked, am I still doing fasting? Yes, I am. One form or another. Depends on how you look at it. I'm either doing OMAD, 1 meal a day kind of thing, or I'm doing 1 meal every 2 days. Sometimes I'm doing 2 meals every 4 days, 3 days. It just really depends on how things are going. I don't really have anything set in stone, and I think I like it that way. I don't know what exactly happened when I done like that 5 days, but a lot of things reset or changed. My appetite and cravings changed a lot. I can be around food and not crave it. Don't get me wrong, good food smells good, and obviously there's a little bit of like, that would be good, but it's not a vicious craving. And I know that doesn't make sense to everybody, but I know it makes sense to somebody. There's people out there like me that, man, I get near food that's, looked good, smelled good, and it wasn't that sounds good. It was a vicious craving, which is kind of hard to deal with at times. Man, let's flip this around. This park, I think, it's got some terrain. So there's a trail going down there. I don't know if I'll walk down that or not. And then, what's this over here? It's another trail. There's more frisbee baskets down here in the holler. Check this out. It's a cool view and stuff. I gotta get in better shape. I got like wooden steps and then a path around, and I don't know if you can see the one basket right there, but all the way down at the very bottom, there's another basket. And that's, 100 yards down there, 120 yards. That's cool. Wow, this is a real pretty area. Rodeo Park, Fort Madison, Iowa. I didn't realize it was kind of like that. This looks like there's a picnic table or bench down here. We're gonna try to trek this little bit of a trail here. It's about 30 to 40 yards downhill, so this will be a little bit of a challenge. So a couple of reasons I wanted to do a walkie-talkie today. Well, I've been wanting to do one, period. But today especially because I'm got a little bit of a headache. The ground's kind of soft and slick in spots here, so I'm not wanting to fall on my butt. If I do, you better subscribe and like and laugh after I compose myself. Downhill's very hard on my knees. But I haven't eaten since Saturday. It's Tuesday, so I'm on hour close to 72 now, 60, 70, somewhere in there. And I have this slight underlying headache. I wouldn't even necessarily normally call it a headache. Going uphill is probably going to be easier than down, especially on my knees. Whew. But it's just there. So I went to go try to find go to my favorite coffee shop in Fort Madison, which is Swed & Co. They do their own roasted coffee there, and it's pretty good. I'm not, it's the best in the area anyways. Ooh, it's slick there. There's some ruts in the ground. That's probably not the best video, but I'm glad you're here tagging along. If you're still with me, leave a comment, fall on your butt. I'd appreciate it. Not hoping that I fall on my butt, but you know what? At least let me know you're still here up to this point, because this is kind of a struggle. Currently at 340 pounds. Just give you an update. Man, there's a tee-off area here and then more stuff down there. Wow. They got a lot here. And then a picnic table over here for a rest area. Look at that hill I just climbed down. I'll be going back up it. It didn't look that steep from up there. I'm going to be huffing and puffing, and you get to listen to me breathe heavy. That is, if you're still there. I'm going to walk over the edge here and see what all I see. Just because I think it'd be cool. There's that path that I was looking at from up top. Paved path down there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So fasting. I get distracted so easy. I see something shiny or see cool scenery. I should have brought my camera up as well. But slight headache. They aren't debilitating or anything like that. But let's flip this around here. But it's just there and kind of slowing me down a little. And I don't like it. So since I couldn't get a cup of coffee, the next best thing, or probably the best thing, would be just to get moving. Ooh. Hey, did you see that leaf just hit me in the head? Okay, so up is not necessarily easier. I may have lied to myself. Whew. Yeah, to try to keep my balance too. It's rained here the past couple of days, and this clay gets slick. Despite what most people say, this area is full of clay, even being Southeast Iowa. Okay, little breather. Whew. Yeah, so like yesterday, I put up 6,000 steps, which for most people is not much. Most people try to shoot at least for 10 to 20,000 a day. And that's achievable for most. That's the best steps that I've had. But a lot of times things like this, it's small increments. It's, 1-2 steps at a time some days. And to give you an idea, what I'm looking at right now is I know I have that picnic table behind me. That's kind of why I walked down there a little bit, because I knew I'd have a place to rest. Also, there's this log right here, and as bad as it sounds, I would possibly sit on that just because, if I get to that point of exhaustion or tiredness that I need to take a little break. I'm always looking for spots like that just because the struggle's real. It's absolutely real. Even stepping over that little 6-inch log is a challenge at times. Whew. We have you. See it behind me? It sticks on me pretty good there. Yeah. Making it up the hill. We're getting somewhere. Just takes a little bit. One step at a time. And that also brings me to the point that it's not necessarily a numbers movement, a numbers game. You know, 6,000 steps sound great, but is that going to burn more calories and be better for me on a flat paved surface than walking 1,000 steps here on adverse terrain and conditions and stuff? I'd argue that this has my breath up more, and this is a bit more of a struggle. Looks like you have to be in some pretty good shape to be a frisbee golfer. Just saying. I always thought it was a fat stoner's game, which kind of intrigued me about it. But whoo-wee, that's a bit of a hike. So adverse conditions and changing things up constantly, I think, is really, really good and a necessity. You know, that's why I like having so many options, from rowing to walking to resistance bands to suspension training to functional mobility and all of that, because they all tie in together. So I know I've started this in 3 different directions, had 3 different conversations going on between updating, fasting, and exercise, but they all come together. And fasting and exercise is one that I'm gonna be exploring more now, which, looking online, reading lots of books. I've read probably five or 6 books just on fasting alone. There's some differentiating information out there. Some people say don't do anything while you're fasting, and I'm talking more long-term fasting. And then I see others say, man, exercise as much as you can, and even do strength training while you're fasting. I'm not sure what the right answer is, to tell you the truth. I've done fasting with limited movement, and I've gotten benefits, and I've lost weight. I have a lot of weight to lose still. Realistically, my body weight should probably be 160 pounds. At my heaviest was over 480. So that gives you an idea. I'm currently at 340. But I think combining the both for me is the right choice. I get some of the best mental clarity that I've ever had while I'm fasting. I also get some of the best energy I have certain days and times of fasting, and I'm also able to tell the effects of food much longer. Whereas before, eat every 2 hours. That I believed that for a while. That, man, you need to eat, pretty constantly if you want to lose weight. That didn't work at all. Nope, did not help me at all. That was actually probably a bad thing. But I can now still tell the energy effect and feel the processing of food well over 24 hours after I ate, which is weird. But I am not made to eat anywhere near what I've been able to eat in the past. Obviously, I've stored so much of it as fat. I don't think I'm made to eat, but maybe once every couple of days. Maybe once I lose all my weight, I may think differently. But at this point in time, if I eat more than once every 2 days, I'm nowhere. I don't get the vibrancy of life in which I do like right now, even with a slight little headache, I can smell so much that I haven't been able to smell for years. All the different damp trees and bark and leaves and some of the evergreen and everything just on the breeze, and it's amazing. It is fantastic. So that's some of the stuff that I hear more. I feel more. I'm more, I'm less anxious, I should say, in some ways. I'm less anxious on the, it's so hard to explain. I'm less anxious on the drama stuff, but more anxious to be doing stuff. That's the best that I can say it right now. I don't know. It's interesting. Enough looking at me. Check out some of this view here. This is, man, I wish that the Osmo Pocket 3 here would zoom in or have, you know, I know you can get little lenses for the front of it. I should realistically consider just using my good cameras. I only use them for photography, but they're completely capable of videography, and I have all the lenses and everything for it. But that trail looks nice down through there, that paved trail. Different oak trees, and I love walking out in the timber and the woods and stuff. This to me isn't really a timber walk. I need to get my knees and my stability better to go walking through the timber, because I really like that adverse terrain. I really like how I just really like being out in the woods. It's absolutely beautiful. But by fasting, see, I'm all over the place. No wonder people don't watch my videos for all that long. I get it. I understand. Hopefully you do get something out of them and enjoy watching them this long. But I'm gonna try doing more exercises, more workload while fasting, because I haven't tried that yet, and I have all the stored energy. And that's one thing where most people, when they start freaking out, you're fasting for, you know, you aren't eating all day, you aren't eating for 2 days, you aren't eating for 3 days. No. Because the reality, and the best explanation for me anyways, is that my fat stores are my storage. Kind of like a deep freeze in the basement, or your savings account at the bank. So that's cool. But the thing is your refrigerator and your stomach and eating is your wallet, or is your already prepared food. Oh, there's a car coming. I'll walk over this other way. Hopefully they won't bother me. I don't like people. I shouldn't say that. I do like people. I don't like videoing while there's people and stuff. Looks like they're just turning around. Hopefully going somewhere else. But, whew. So if your refrigerator or prepared foods or Burger King and all the fast food joints and all that are what you're eating, your quick stuff, you have absolutely no reason to walk all the way down to the basement and get your food and prepare it. You have no need to go all the way to the bank and get your food and prepare it. It's a matter of convenience. And our body is very, very efficient. Always has been. I've told people for years, and I've mentioned it before in other videos, that I am fat because my body's more efficient at storing stuff in case of an emergency than others. And a lot of people kind of giggle with that. But the truth is that's a reality. Is we are efficient at storing food. Mine shows it more than others, but it's still there. So if you don't stop eating and you don't let the refrigerator get empty, you don't let the wallet get empty, your body never goes into those stores, never goes to the deep freeze, never goes to the savings account and pulls that energy out. And right now I have every bit of 150 extra pounds of energy waiting to be used that's been there for years. So with that, there's more people. I'm getting surrounded by people. I thought I was out here in the middle of nowhere. Anyways, not surrounded. There's some people around. But with that, it's challenging to lose weight if you aren't willing to skip to the point of getting into those things, getting into those stores and stuff. Check out this view. This is a pretty nice park. I wonder who has to mow all this. Seems kind of crazy to mow all this. There's frisbee golfers. It is a beautiful day. So with that said, does that make any sense to you on why I fast as long as I do? Because I can tell that if I eat a really good dense meal like beans and rice and sweet potatoes and things, that's sticking with me for a full 24 hours after I eat that. I can tell. And then, so that means technically that first 24 hours, I'm not fasting. I'm still processing. I'm still extracting out of that meal. That's why that first day, I'm not hungry. I've learned, and my body is okay with that now. It's not bothering it any. That second day, I get a little bit of hunger for a few minutes, and I just tell myself that's what it takes to switch. How you doing today? Fantastic. It's beautiful. It is. I sure will. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Okay. I was going to head back the other way, but thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah. And I don't know why it bothers me to film in front of other people. I mean, let's face it, everybody's used to being filmed anymore. They see it. It's not that big of a deal. But just one of those things that I'll get over. I'll get better at it. I appreciate all the comments of everybody who told me, get over it. That this is worthwhile. It's worthwhile for me, myself. You know, I don't want to sound selfish, but I appreciate everybody that comes along. I want to help other people just because I know how lost I've been. But so we've touched on fasting, touched on exercise a little bit. Life is so busy and complicated that I need more energy. I need more ability to do things. And I know that my weight has really, really drugged me down in that. And my lethargic, non-pushing flaws, I don't even know what you want to call them, ways, has contributed to that. And in lots of bad ways. So, I don't want to ramble too much, but I do want to enjoy the day. I also find walking and talking is more strenuous than just walking. Is it bad that I'm in that bad of shape? Oh well. If you made it this far, give me a like. 25 minutes. But my headache isn't any worse. In fact, it may be slightly better. But it's time to get back to work. I gotta make a living for my kiddos, for my family. And like I said, time's limited. Let's go.